One of my most requested videos is SPM. Since I listen to him, people want to know what I think about his case. My main man, SPM. He was huge in the 90s and early 2000s, selling out shows with over 1,000 people. He started selling CDs at car shows to build up hype in Houston. Eventually, he was selling hundreds of thousands of copies, and people still bump him today, but he could have been 10 times bigger. When I say could have, I'm saying that because he has been in jail for over 20 years because he impregnated a 13-year-old and was suspected of diddling a 9-year-old. I avoided talking about this for over a year because it's a contentious subject. Some people believe that he's innocent. One of these people is Juan Gotti, who claims that the girl accused SPM of titillation is now a fan and has admitted to lying about what happened. He says this in his song, Letter to SPM. The people who think he deserves to be in prison are Mr. Capone E and the court system of Texas.
Well, we're here fighting for the freedom of my brother, Carlos Coy.
Amen.
He was given a trial that is unjustified.
Unjust.
He was handed down a sentence of 45 years without one shred of physical evidence.
Hold on, mierda, man.
45 years without one shred of physical evidence that he ever did the crime.
Not one.
Strictly hearsay.
Hearsay.
By people that were interested in his money.
Money. Green.
So we are here fighting for the retrial of my brother.
Retrial. For real.
So what we hope.
You might be wondering, how could people still listen to SPM after knowing he was smashing 13-year-olds? It's the same thing with R. Kelly and Michael Jackson, both massive pedophiles. They still have fans, and sometimes bad people can make good music. Now, I'm not defending what he did. The defense people have for SPM is that the 13-year-old girl worked at a strip club. SPM claims that he didn't know how old she was, and when she went to the police, it wasn't because she felt violated, it's because she wanted child support. And honestly, he should have just paid her. You're not gonna beat this case. The kid looks exactly like you. The kid was about 9 years old when he went to jail, by the way.
We haven't seen no money. And we don't even talk about it.
The other accuser's mother was willing to let go of the case for $20,000. She wasn't even happy that he got sentenced to 45 years. And to this day, she complains that she never got paid. If your kid gets violated, you shouldn't see it as a payday. That is weird. About the 13-year-old girl working at the strip club, strip clubs are the most grimy, dirty, disgusting places imaginable. I know we live in an era where sex work is seen as a positive thing. If your son or daughter is getting double teamed on camera, then you should be proud. But strippers are usually addicted to something. They usually come from broken homes, and strip club owners are usually perverted jackasses. I'm not surprised that a middle schooler was working at a strip club. Now, SPM had a reputation for liking young-ass girls, and I'm sure the owner of the club hit him up as soon as he hired her. Again, I do not support this behavior. Even if she looks old for her age, you should be able to tell how old she is by how she talks. When you bring someone home, you usually ask them, where do you hang out? Where do you work? What do you drive? It's really easy to figure out if someone is underage by 5 years. If he was actually tricked, if it was an honest mistake, then the judge probably would have given him like 5 years. When he first got locked up, then bonded out, they set him up with 2 14-year-old girls that he took back to a hotel room. So there's no doubt that this dude was a pedophile. Let me repeat that. He was caught with 2 14-year-olds, and there were a handful of girls saying that he did the same thing, all of them 13, 14. Now we're talking about a street dude, someone who's willing to sell crack to pregnant women, break into houses, commit murder. You think he draws the line when it comes to consent? Oh, I don't do that shit. I'm a real G. Nah, gang dudes don't respect the law, especially when they live in an area where people don't want to call the police. It makes it easier for these guys to do this and get away with it. And of course his buddies are gonna back him up even if they know he's guilty.
I know the real story about SPM. There's a lot that the public don't ever get to know, but I know the real story, and it's a crazy situation. It's so bad, but I want to let y'all know I would never back up someone who I thought did something wrong, but I know my boy Los, I was there the whole time. Hell yeah. Free SPM! Free SPM! I would have known about Houston if it wasn't for the South Park Mexicans. Don't listen to what niggas say and everything. If you know Carlos and you know the South Park Mexican and you know he wouldn't do no shit like that, don't be sucking the government's dick.
Eddie Griffin goes on Vlad TV to say that Michael Jackson is innocent, but when he was at Neverland Ranch with his kids, he was joking that he wouldn't let them anywhere near Michael. This dude SPM goes to court with baggy shorts, one of those big t-shirts, and if you're a judge, you probably take that as disrespect. The two women who got him in jail, they just wanted money, and if he would have just paid them off, then he'd probably be free right now. If he would have handled himself better, he wouldn't have gotten 45 years. He's eligible for parole in 2024, and is he going to be as successful when he gets out of jail? Who knows? But I'm going to end this with SPM's son talking about the whole ordeal. I'm out.
I'm just here to clarify what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about the other kids. I was talking about the 13-year-old person who got impregnated, which is my mother. I was talking about her. Okay, and you know, my father already said he'll take the 5 years for her, but the rest was bullshit. That was all false. Accusations, trying to get money, whatever it was, that's not for me to speak on. I don't know anything about it. Baby Bash wasn't there for my situation. You know what I'm saying? My mom was 13. How the fuck could he be there? You know what I'm saying? My mom saw the Vlad interview. She was pissed. She wanted to call Vlad and do her own interview. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to tell her story. Cause Bash was bashing her. You don't bash my mom, bro, and you lying on my mom. You speaking on my mom and you lying on my mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling that shit. So that's why I'm coming out and I'm telling everybody what it is. What's the truth? You know what I'm saying? You know, my mom was young, and you know, 9 times out of 10, my dad fucking knew it. Well, that's what it is. You know, people